Hi guys, how are you today? It's me, Heather Duncan, and we are going to make this cute little panda in some bamboo today. I'm so glad that you're here with me. I'm going to show you the supplies that you're going to need. We're going to be using these cardboard round cutouts. They are uncoated cardboard round cutouts. You can find these on Amazon. You just have to make sure they're uncoated, okay? They're great to do arts and crafts on, and they're pretty cheap, honestly. Not that you care if you're a kid, right? But we're going to be using these tempera paint sticks. I'm going to be using silver, green, gold, and blue. Then we're going to be using black and white Model Magic clay. I'm using a whole white packet and then half of my black packet. And then I'm going to be using 2 little eyeballs, unless you want to give your panda 5 eyeballs. Whatever. You do you. So, alright, let me tell you the steps we're going to take. First, we're going to make the background with our paint sticks, and then we're going to make the panda. It's super easy. You might need something to roll your Model Magic out with. I actually might just use one of these kiwi sticks. But if you have like a rolling pin, like a little tiny rolling pin or something, that might be useful too for this project, okay? All right, let's jump in. Okay, do you want to pause it? Denver. Do you want to do it or you want me to keep going?
How much more yet? We've only been in like a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Probably got a couple more.
Okay. Alright, we're going to make our background first, and we're going to make bamboo, because where pandas live in China, there's lots of bamboo. That's what they eat, okay? I don't know that they have an exclusive diet to bamboo. I think they eat insects and stuff like that too, but we're going to make some bamboo. Alright, to start with, we're going to take our gold kiwi stick, or it's just a tempera paint stick. You can use, there's lots of brands of these. This happens to be the kiwi stick brand. And I'm just making some straight lines down. And you know, I might make one thick. I might make the next one thin. You know, it doesn't matter. And these dry super fast. They are a little bit wet there at the beginning, but they dry really fast. Next, after we're done with our gold, we're going to take our green and we're going to do bamboo leaves. Now, bamboo leaves are known to be really long and skinny. So, to make my leaves, I'm just going to kind of make some real long, skinny leaves. Okay? And I'm gonna, some of my leaves are gonna end right where my bamboo starts. And some of my leaves I'm going to start there on the bamboo. Okay? And make some little leaves. You want to vary your sizes. You want to make some small leaves and some big leaves. Because if you saw some real bamboo trees, I bet you would see lots of different types of sizes and shapes, right? Just making sure that they're pretty skinny. We don't want real fat leaves. Okay. Awesome. And if you have our art box, you know that I gave you, or in your art box in your art box you got your kids edition magazine, and there's some super cute pictures of pandas in there. So you might want to open your art magazine up and look at those pictures as you do this project. Okay. Yay! Oh my goodness, guys. It's looking good. Okay, so I have my bamboo down. Put one more leaf over here. Add some. And really, it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't get all, you know, particular. Okay, next we're going to take our blue and we're going to make an impressionistic background, which means we're just going to take our blue and instead of just coloring all of our blue in, we're going to just do like dots. Or little dashes, and I'm going to do all my dashes in the same direction. Okay, they're going to be horizontal dashes, and I'm just going to fill in the back of my painting or my composition here with blue for the sky, but I want it to just be in dots. And this is, it's more like dashes, not dots, but this is a technique known primarily to impressionistic painters. Monet was an impressionist. Impressionism was born out of France, which is where Paris is. And painters realized they didn't have to make things super perfect. They thought, you know what? If I just kind of make the eye believe that there's blue back there with all these little strokes, it will naturally create this really cool pattern. Okay? It's kind of cool. So, Impressionism. And they would use this doing like landscapes, things like that. Cezanne is a really famous impressionistic painter, impressionist. And another thing that is really key to impressionism is they do layers upon layers. I actually took a class on impressionism once. Impressionism painting? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, and all the layers were really hard for me. It was hard for me to wait for the paint to dry because the paint that I was using, it took like a week to dry. So it was a lot of work, but this just takes seconds to dry. So it's not as hard. Okay? I'm just going to come in here with my silver, and where this is my second layer, and where there's like white, I'm just putting some little dashes of silver. That's just to fill in the gaps there. And honestly, the silver's almost a color you can't see, but just the shining, shimmering of it will add a lot to your piece. And see how I'm going all in the same direction? I want to go all in the same direction. Okay. All right. Come up here. Now, if I go really fast, guys, remember my superpower is painting super fast. So if you need to take more time, you can pause the video. And then when you're ready to start, you can start it, okay? So you can just hit the little pause button if you need to catch up. That's okay. I am, for some reason, some people are fast runners. I'm a fast painter. I'm not a fast runner. But, okay, my background is done. Now I'm going to start on the panda. So if your background is still not finished, you might want to pause this and then push play when you're ready to start your panda, okay? All right. To start, I have my whole piece of white, and I have to make this go pretty far, okay? So I'm gonna break it into thirds. So I'm gonna take it, roll it out, and I'm gonna think 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna put my 2 fingers here and then pinch it off right there. And then I have 2/3 and 1/3. Together they make a whole, okay? So I'm going to take this, and this is gonna be my body for my panda. And I'm going to kind of flatten it out into a oval, okay? You see that? I'm try to make it to where you can see it in the camera. And I'm just gonna kind of take his body, and I'm gonna stretch his body out and make him a big fat panda. Yes. And I'm making it pretty thin. And then I'm gonna place my panda down here in my bamboo forest. And then I'm going to just push down on my panda. And then this is where I can kind of get one of these and just kind of roll it out. Just so it's not completely bumpy. He's still a little bumpy, but that's okay. All right. After I do that, I'm going to take half, maybe 2/3 of my black, and I'm going to make his arms. So I'm going to roll it out into a rope. Remember, that's the fancy word for snake. And then I'm going to flatten my rope and make it like fat, okay? I don't want him to have super skinny arms. I want him to have pretty fat and fluffy arms, right? And then I'm just gonna put that right on top of my body. I'm gonna pick it up and kind of stretch it. Maybe stretch those paws down a bit. Yay! There's his little arms. Oh, super cute. Okay. Alright, now I have to make his head. Now, in order to make his head, I still need a little piece for his nose, so I'm going to take off just a little pea size amount. It's not too big. Maybe a little bigger than a pea, but smaller than a marble. Now I'm going to make a ball and in my hand, and then I'm just going to flatten that ball out. I'm going to pull it apart, make it pretty wide. I want him to have a real nice and big fluffy head. You know, I don't want to rip it. And if any point you do like make a mistake, just put it back into a ball and start over. You can totally start over, okay? Okay, and then I'm gonna put his face down. Now, it is important that we put his face down on top of his shoulders just a bit. Okay, you don't want that. You want it to overlap just a bit there. Okay, and then here's his nose. I'm going to make this into a kind of a triangle shape. Yes, this is, and we'll put that right there. Okay, awesome. All right, now we need to make his ears and his eyes and his smile. So I'm going to pinch off 2 little pea-size amounts for his ears. Make sure that they're both pretty much the same size. Okay. And then I'm going to squeeze them with my fingers and just put his little ears on. And like I said, feel free to look at your panda pictures there. And then I'm going to make his eyes. So I'm going to take off 2 fairly good pea-size amounts for his eyes. Roll them out into a ball, and then I'm just going to flatten them into kind of a long oval shape. So do you see that? Like a long oval shape. And it's so interesting how the panda's eyes are set back in this little black space. It's interesting how God makes creatures and how sometimes their adaptations lend to these kinds of things too. Maybe you've learned about adaptations in school. I wonder why the panda has black around its eye. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to put my 2 eyeballs on. See what he looks like. He looks darling. But he doesn't quite look finished yet, does he? So I'm going to put the nose on. A little bit of a nose. And again, I'm going to try to make this into a rectangle, or excuse me, a triangle. And if I'm going too fast, please stop the video and pause it. Triangle for the nose. And then I have to make his little smile. So I'm going to make some teeny tiny ropes. And he kind of has a little thing down the middle, you know. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put this in the middle. Okay, guys. Are you ready for the reveal? Okay, here he is. My little panda in his bamboo forest. Doesn't he look so cute? I love it. So one other thing that you could do, I don't have down here, you could make, you know, a little fur on him with like a fork or something. You can kind of like, you know, make some texture on his fur if you wanted, or you could just leave him like this. You should, if you let him dry, he should stick to your board pretty well. Okay? You shouldn't have to worry about him coming off the board at all. So, anyways, just keep him in a safe place. Okay? Alright guys, thank you for joining me for our sculpture night tonight. We made a kind of a 2-dimensional sculpture tonight of a panda. using Model Magic clay, and then we did an impressionism background, yeah, with our blue in our bamboo forest. So great job. I'm so glad that you were here with me tonight, and I cannot wait till we see each other again. All right, and please, will you tell your parent to share a picture of your work with me? I always love to see it. I wish I was there with you so I could see what you were doing. But you know what? I'm glad that you get a chance to do some art at your house. It's really fun, isn't it? I have fun too. So, okay guys, I want you to stay creative and have some fun, okay? I will see you next time.